Okay. So I have a question for you this morning. Imagine you're a PHP developer. You're in high demand and it's lunchtime and you open your email and you see this. Which email would you answer first of all of these? Can you imagine? They all say the same thing. Which opportunities should you be going for? Do you care that the role's urgent as a PHP developer? Not really. But this is a genuine inbox. This is actually courtesy of Glenn Cathy from 2016. So if you looked at it now, it would be worse. So think about this when you're sending messages. This is why they say that HR and recruiters are robotic. This is what we need to stop. Here's another staggering statistic for you. What do you think reduces response rates of emails by 80%? Anyone know? Sorry? Who said that? Hi. No, but it could be. You're going to get a prize anyway for being the first person to respond. Thank you. If you start your email with "I came across your profile on LinkedIn," which most of you will do, your response rate will go down by 80%. Please stop doing that. Okay? Obviously, you came across their profile on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn. Can I give you your prize? I have one more, so it's a good thing to be interactive. Yes. I'll explain what this is in one moment. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. The other thing I think a lot of us forget, and the reason that we're robotic, is we spend all day looking at profile as HR and recruiters, but we forget that people are looking at us and that we're repelling people just by how we present ourselves online. So I'm going to talk about how you can do that better as well. But who am I? So I'm Katrina Collier. I've obviously written a book. I am a recruiter. I think like a recruiter. I've been in the industry since 2003. I'm here thanks to Balish, who I've known for many years as well, in the sourcing space. And my big thing has always been not just to teach recruiters how to find people, but teach recruiters how to get people to reply, because I think that's the problem we have now. And of course, I've written the Robot Proof Recruiter, which you now have, which will teach you all of that. And I have spoken all around the world, and these are just some of my clients. So this isn't just me standing on stage telling you how to do it. This is what they're telling me that their problems are as well. So hopefully the collective knowledge you're going to find really valuable during this presentation. So, first question. Why has it actually got so difficult to engage people? Why is it that people get your message and they just don't reply? One of the reasons I think, which I'm actually not going to cover in this, is we have so many ways to ignore people now. When you think about it, we can ignore text messages and messengers and WhatsApp and all of it. We don't have to reply to people, which is why we don't like phone calls. But one of the main reasons is this: our reputations. If you type HRR or recruiters are into Google, yeah, not good, is it? Recruiters are is actually even more entertaining. If you get an opportunity to type that in, please do. So our reputations aren't great, so people don't want to talk to us. We're just an obstacle between them and a job. But you also have things like this. Those hiring managers with ridiculous expectations. We're looking for a junior developer with the experience of a senior developer with the salary of an intern. You have hiring managers like that, don't you? Who just really have ridiculous expectations. They want 20 years experience on someone who's 25. So again, your job is to push back on that and make sure that we don't find tweets like this out on the internet. But there's also this. Now, I don't believe, and I checked with Balish before I put this up, that you have this yet. But if you go to Google and type in HR Manager Jobs Budapest, you don't get the blue box. You might see the blue box when you do the shopping and for airlines and things like that. But if I actually just switched it to London, you then get that blue box that's here. Now, this is designed to make search easier for job seekers. And we call it Google for Jobs, and it is incredibly powerful. It's not here yet, but it's coming. I mean, I'm still looking on the Hungarian Google, but just by changing the country, it came up. Now, the reason it's so powerful, if I go from Google, hit my search, go into the blue box, I end up with this ability to take control of my job search. I can actually get rid of all of the staffing and just go, actually, I just want to look at IT jobs. I want to be HR manager in an IT. Oh, lost my sound. It's interesting. So when I've gone into this job that's BT in London, senior HR manager. By now I'm on 2 clicks. So I've gone from Google, clicked in, got rid of all of the staffing straight into this job. But this is where this becomes so powerful. Not only does it show me where I can apply, so I can actually choose which place I want to apply. And if you're a company, that should say BT. That should not say any of those. You should be encouraging people to apply on your website. But I see this. So I just scroll. So I've now gone click, click, scroll, and I can see the salary bands, which are all over the place. So it's a bit disconcerting, but this is the problem. This right here are all the review sites. Indeed, Glassdoor, PayScale. You might not have even heard of PayScale, but people are writing reviews about that company, and they're right there. 2 clicks and a scroll. So job seekers can see your reviews even more, and that's putting people off replying. Because you send a message, you actually get their attention. They run a quick search and go, I don't want to talk to you. So let's have a look at some of these reviews. So this is on Indeed. You all know Indeed? Yeah? Familiar with Indeed? So 2.3 thousand reviews, 3.8, that's not too bad. But when I click in, daily grind. Oh, that sounds really exciting to work there. Hours, under-resourced. I don't want to work there. And again, there's one down there that says great culture. But the main problem is you've got one here that's not great with 7 people going, yep, that was helpful. 7 people who potentially didn't apply for the job. So this is the problem with these reviews. This is why, even though companies want to ignore them and they want them to go away, you can't. I personally think they're a goldmine of information for you to use to learn, to improve employee engagement, to improve your management. You don't need to ignore them. You can actually do something with them. And then, of course, Glassdoor. You've all heard of Glassdoor? Their marketing's very good, isn't it? Yeah. Their interview reviews are very depressing. If you have not gone to Glassdoor and looked at your interview reviews, please do, because it's going to show you how you as a company can treat candidates better. So here's one, admittedly it's data scientist, so it's nothing to do with HR. But this bottom sentence, where are we? I chased them for weeks, and they always said that you had the best skills, but then they hired somebody else, and they didn't tell him. So he writes it's a negative experience. So other people will see that and think, well, why should I invest all of my time and all of my energy prepping and coming to interview if that's how they're going to be treated? Because there's a human being behind every single application and every single interview. So your job is to give them feedback. They deserve that. Now, I understand that many of you will have too many jobs on. You'll have 30 jobs that you're working on and there's just you. But there's still a human being behind every application. And long term, you're making it harder for yourself. And of course, it's that thing, right? We crave certainty and we crave transparency. So Balish is picking me up at the hotel this morning, and he is telling me, because he can tell by his phone, that I'm going to arrive in 10 minutes. I'm going to arrive in 1.5 minutes. At 1.5 minutes, I got up out of my seat, walked outside to meet him, because he knew exactly when he was going to be there, because he could pull out his phone and look. We're used to doing that. We use our GPS and our satellite navigation. It's the same on the trains, isn't it? They'll tell you exactly when you're going to arrive somewhere. So why wouldn't job seekers want that? Just makes sense. So, of course, if they're looking for that certainty, they're going to go to Glassdoor, which I've already mentioned, but they're also going to go to all of these sites that also exist. I don't know if you know about some of these. Jobcase, Very God Boss, The Job Crowd, Rate My Employer, Vault, Comparably, Career Bliss in her site. I've seen Comparably in Europe, so it's definitely here. And these two, Indeed and Kununu. Please go and check your reviews and respond to people. They deserve that. But also people can go to the internet, can't they? They can go to social media. Now, which is more interesting? The 2.4 billion people that go into Facebook and actually chat real stuff? Or you could look at the people who will go into LinkedIn. 310 million go in once a month for 17 minutes. Today, 1.4 billion people will go into Facebook for 35 minutes. You've also got Instagram's got 1 billion users, and people are chatting. So you need to make sure what they're saying about your company is positive and true. Or there are consequences. So if you treat people badly, you'll find stuff like this. Over the last 3 months, I've been job hunting, and let me tell you, the interview process these companies make you go through is exhausting. I've had a company say they want to hire me on the spot, right there and then they went dark for an entire month. Is that on the spot? Then they had the audacity, after ghosting me for a month, to expect me to drop everything to speak to the hiring manager. No, I told the recruiter. I'm no longer interested in the role. You'll have played with my time and my emotions. Do you day to day think about the fact you are playing with somebody's time and emotions? That job seeker that you're helping into your company, it's their time and their emotions. Time, the time you're all giving me now, you're never getting it back. I'm very grateful for it. It's an honour to have your time, but you're never getting it back. It's the same with your candidates. Thank you, but no thank you. This is the second offer I've rejected due to the blatant disregard for me as a human. That's pretty audacious, isn't it? That she feels so confident that she can go, no, I'm not taking your job. I'm in demand. I do not need to talk to you. If you can't prove to me you care about me in the interview, I'm definitely not convinced you care about me as an employee. Pass. I see lots of these. When I was researching for the robot-proof recruiter, I saw way too many. And it doesn't matter where in the world I looked. There are people who are not treating other people well, and it's now impacting your hiring. So would you like to see how you can fix that? Now I've been all depressing. Do you want some good news? I know it's early, but yeah, thank you. Okay, just remember this. Recruitment is easier when people feel they matter. I promise you, I've been a recruiter, okay? I'm not talking out of my ass. I promise you it will be easier for you if they feel better, that they matter. So, step 1. Please Google everybody in the hiring process, or if you're really super keen, go to all the other search engines, and please look them up. Okay, if you are unfortunate like me and you have a name that's like quite rare, make sure the way that you come up on the search results is the way you want to be found. You know, things to be aware of. Okay, my company comes up first, but then LinkedIn, then Twitter, and actually just a bit further down's Facebook. So Google your hiring managers. How are they presenting themselves online? Is there anything we don't want to see? And then present yourself well. So there's a funny section in the book about this as well. There's a site called Photo Feeler, where human beings will actually vote on your photo. And you wouldn't think just a profile picture would have such an impact on people. So here I'm thinking, oh, here's me up on stage. I look quite professional. But no, apparently I'm only vaguely competent and only vaguely sure. Oh, I keep losing my... I think I go too far away from it or something. But actually just changing my profile picture to my one from my book launch where I wasn't even that sober, suddenly I'm like, I know, it's quite worrying, isn't it? But suddenly I'm a whole load more likeable, influential and competent. So what that means is people will want to talk to me more because I look more open. So you must have hiring managers that look really angry in their profile pictures, right? So make sure that they don't look angry. Make sure they look approachable because we're used to the flight and fright. So if we don't like the photo, we'll run. But then fill out the profiles. I am always amazed at the fact that so many recruiters use LinkedIn and HR use LinkedIn, but do not fill out their profiles. And the same with your hiring managers. If you're sending a hiring manager profile to a candidate, make sure they fill it out. You know, at least photo and your headline. And also look at your phone version because this summary is really short on the phone and yet non-existent practically on the desktop. They're really different. So actually this is much more important for your candidates, the summary, not the experience because they don't know to click and open the experience. Add some rich media. Just fill it out. But fill out your other profiles as well. I find people get really cryptic. So they're using Twitter and they're using Instagram, but they're not filling out their profiles. So they don't look approachable. You know, someone will follow me on Twitter. I look at them and I'm like, I don't understand why you're following me. I don't know who you are. Make it easy for people. With Instagram, I recommend you have 2 different accounts. So you have one that's for the kids and that's private, and then you have one that's a little bit more open and it's about you and your business and recruitment, and then share stuff that will, again, attract candidates towards you. But please don't stop before Facebook. Please think about Facebook. 1.4 billion people will go today. So make sure you've got, again, an approachable Facebook profile picture. I understand it's Facebook. I understand you think it's your personal space, but people are looking at you there because it's much more interesting. Fill out your bio, fill out your job location, and set your 9 photos as well. I've added other links to my other sites, but set your 9 photos. So this is the first thing they see, and then hide everything else. So they're seeing what you want them to see, and they're not going, I don't want to talk to Katrina, she doesn't look very professional. To be fair, the dog's coming out from under my bed might put people off, the cat people mightn't apply, but that's okay. I'll be okay with that. So you then look worthy of someone's time. So whether they're applying for a job or you've messaged them, you look approachable. But what about your company? Does it look approachable? We've already talked about reviews, so enough about that. But what about things like inclusivity? This is ThoughtWorks. You will find lots and lots of blogs on ThoughtWorks. Front page of their website is insights. Boom, you're in their blog. They don't hide anything. It's not tucked away in the careers section. They have employees talking about what it's like to be a female in the company, what it's like to be transgender, and all this kind of stuff. And it's right there on the website. Very easy. That shows inclusivity. We're all talking about diversity, but very few people are actually showing that you feel welcome. This is an easy way to do that. The other thing, of course, I mean, you only have one word for gender here, but in English, of course, we have multiple pronouns. So add your pronouns to your profile. Just by adding she, her to mine, I'm showing people that I acknowledge that some people are gender fluid. That's it. That's all I had to do. It would take me 2 seconds to do that. Make people feel like they're inclusive. And then I cannot recommend this enough. This is a website called recite.me, and they will allow you to add like a filter over the top. It sits and looks just like this on the top of your website, on your careers site, where people apply for the jobs. And it allows people with dyslexia or people who can't read and perhaps want to listen to it, or even actually old people who need bigger size font as we get older, you can actually increase the size. It's such a simple thing to do to make it easier for people to apply for your job. So simple. So have a look at that. Unfortunately, I'm not earning commission from them. I should be. Now, the other thing that you can do is have a corporate hashtag. Do any of your companies have a corporate hashtag? Will you all use one hashtag, a few of you? It's nice, isn't it? So you share a photo. So this is Brazilian's one for Prezzi. That's actually a Budapest company. I went looking. And all of the staff knows you use that hashtag. And by sharing the photo publicly, using that photo, the company can then use that photo and pass it on, or just share the hashtag to potential candidates. And they can actually see, and I'm like, I want to work there immediately, don't I? Because I can see that they allow dogs. So it's like giving a view inside. This is Log Me In Life. I can't remember what site this was for. But another one, again, showing what it's inside. There we go. Logmain, that's a company here, if I'm saying that correctly. So, and also the photos are there. So people are checking in and sharing the photos, hence we've got the check-in. So you can find photos that way, but you might as well encourage them to use a hashtag. That's free. You don't need to worry about EVPs and employer branding and all this kind of stuff. You can just encourage everyone to share a photo from their day using the hashtag and show that to people. So, the last piece of the puzzle to make people respond better. You look worthy of someone's time, and so does the company. Please communicate respectfully. Are you all on LinkedIn? Yeah, actually, how many have got recruiter license out of interest? Who's got recruiter? Quite a few of you, okay. Don't you love these? When you open up your LinkedIn and there's another invite to connect, and you're like, what do you want? Right? I don't know what they want. This one, I have to say, looks completely and utterly dodgy. Everything, I still haven't accepted it. I'm still looking at it going, I don't know if it's a fake profile or not. There are so many fake profiles on LinkedIn. And here we haven't even got a full name, it's got a really strange photo. Immediately I'm like, what do you want? Or you could do this. Hi, Katrina, I look forward to meeting you. Thanks, Robin. That will have taken him 2 seconds. He probably copied and pasted it, to be fair. But at least I felt like he took the 2 seconds to explain to me what he wanted, and it took me 2 seconds to accept it. Please add the personal note. If you're using your phone, use the 3 dots, add personalised invite, otherwise on the desktop. Please add a note. Explain to people what you're about. They're tired of not knowing. I'm sure you have all accepted an invite to connect, and 2 minutes later had a message come through with a sales pitch. Or worse, you get put on a marketing list. So please do that. And then there's the first impressions. So those of you I asked about your recruiter license with LinkedIn have all been taught to use the exact same template. I believe they've changed it of late, but many people use this, I'm currently working with this, and I noticed that you have this, and we are finding this, and I understand. When do you ever hear advertising that is all I? It isn't. L'Oreal, because you're worth it. It's all you. So please do not use this. Ditch the template. Show that you have found something about them, that you've read their profile. Your experience at X caught my hiring manager's attention. I also see you're interested in this. We have this here. Could we have a chat? Simple. You. Get rid of the I's. But you could even stand out from the crowd altogether. So Mark Lundgren likes to send emails with videos in them. He's been doing that for the last 2 years, very successfully. There are marketing tools that you can use that will allow you to send free videos as well. And you just click that, pops up a window, and you can watch the video. Much more interesting to watch a video than to read a message, or even just listen to it if you're in public. You can hear the tone of voice. You can feel the excitement. You don't get that in text. So that's Recruit Mark. If you don't know Mark Lundgren, he is also a sourcing god like Balish. Is that fair? The other thing you could do, now I know you wouldn't want to do this straight away, but you could search for somebody's name. So in this case, Rebecca Hitchen is my client. We're first level connections, but we're not Facebook friends. I just highlighted her name, searched on Google because I use Chrome, so right click, and I sent her a video on Messenger. Now, whatever you do, if you do decide to do this, record the video on your phone first and then send it. Now, I'm not saying you would do this as the first thing you do, but if you have no other way to get in contact with somebody, if they're ignoring your emails and your text messages, why not? It's free, it's pushed, you know when they've read it, because they've read it, that thing goes to the bottom. And not only that, they can listen to the video or read your message, whatever they want to do, and check out all your profile without you even knowing. So it's completely safe. And as long as you filled out your profile and don't look like a spam, why wouldn't somebody accept it? I'm not saying you have to, but why not if you can't get through any other way? Any of you using WhatsApp to send text messages to candidates? Yeah? Have you actually filled out your profile? I stole this, by the way. This is not my idea. As I'll go over, it was Catherine Robinson's idea. And she's like, make sure you've actually filled it out and put your profile picture and you look approachable. You know, we all get these WhatsApps where we're like, I don't know who that is. Who is that? So make sure you fill it out. And you could even add your status saying, I'm currently hiring. But at least when they get the message, they look and go, oh, I know who that is. Excellent, I want to talk to them. I'll respond to that message. Very, very simple thing to do. Now, this is a big one. Many recruiters and HR send one message, one email, and that's it. Okay, who in the room actually follows up twice? 3 times? 3, 4? Even you dropped off at 3. Wow, okay. I know recruiters who message up to 4 and 5 times, but what they don't do is they don't stay on email. If you start on email, though, what happens is you'll send me a message, and you you've got your laptop and your laptop's open and there's the fold, right? I will often flag a message to follow up. It's so important. Currently, I think I've got about 60, and it drops below the fold as more come in over the top. And even though I really want to talk to you, I forget, and you go below the fold. That's where dead people are. So you have to bring it back up to the top. So use a tool like Boomerang, which is free, which will remind you to reply to that message again. So you just come back and say, hey, I'm just putting this back on the top of the pile. But then follow up more. Try a different route. Try a message. Try a messenger. Try something. Send them snail mail. Send them an actual letter. Do whatever you need to do, but make sure you follow people up. Sometimes they really do want to reply. They're just busy and have forgotten about it because they're doing their day job, right? They're not doing recruitment. And the final few things I just want to point out as well. Please acknowledge the human. For those of you who are doing high volume recruitment where you get like 100 job applications and there's one job, I think it's very easy to forget that the people that apply know there is only one job. They understand that it's going to be 99 people rejected to get to the one person. But tell them, this is a tool from Convey IQ. It is a paid tool, but it will actually send a rich media text message sharing some excitement that they got the CV or the resume. Show people that you appreciate the time that they took to apply. I know many of you probably think they just click and apply. They don't. Most people will take some time before they apply. So acknowledge the human. And please give people that closure, that certainty, that transparency by going, do you know what, I'm sorry, this time you're not right. And just let them know. And if they interview on site, my goodness. If you really want to stop ghosting, so that's where you give somebody a job offer and 5 weeks later or 4 weeks later after their notice period, they're meant to start and they don't turn up, which is happening a lot across the world. If you really want to stop it, one of the easiest ways to stop it is to never, ever, ever have somebody interview at your company and not receive a response and not receive the closure of why they're not proceeding. If you go to Glassdoor and you do an X-ray search, via Google, site:/glassdoor.co.com, whatever you want to use, /interview never heard back. This is a search of the interview reviews on Glassdoor for never heard back, 19,300. That's a lot of people who took the time to write, I never heard back. I spent hours on site at your company and I never heard back. They're the people that could be bothered writing a review. So please just make sure that you feed back to people after they've given you their time, that precious gift, and then it won't impact your future hiring. So that's it. If you want people to reply and you want to increase your candidate engagement, simply look worthy of someone's time. I've shown you how to do that quite easily. Make sure your company looks worthy of talking to, including your hiring managers. And of course, be a great communicator across the board. I believe your jobs have got quite enormous because you have to. It's so transparent, but that's how it works. And I have done what I was told and left 2 minutes for questions. So that's it. You're all looking a bit shell-shocked. Are there any questions? Does somebody run out here and ask them or don't know? No questions? Can I run and leave? Any questions? No? Well, thank you very much. I will be around if anyone has any questions. I appreciate your time. Thank you.